Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Maelstrom. We have another Dropzone Commander battle report for you today. 1,500 points. Post-Human Republic versus the United Colonies of Mankind. Today we're doing encroachment. So armies coming on from either side, trying to get into the other one's table half and destroy the enemy in the process. So that is the table. No setup to speak of. We will be back with armies in just a moment. Alright, so first up we have the 1,500 point UCM list.
Okay, so for my field command battle group, I have a Kodiak with a level 3 commander that's a captain in it. Then I have two identical armored formations. They have a squad of 3 sabers in a condor with missile pods, and 3 longbows in Raven Bees with missile pods. Then for my small Legionnaire Corps, I have 2 identical squads of 2 bases of Legionnaires in Raven A's. Then for my large Legionnaire Corps, I have 2 mortar teams, 2 bases per squad. They're in Bear APCs and they're sharing a Condor. That Condor also has missile pods. And for their support option, I have a squad of Rapiers and they are in a Condor with missile pods. Then for my last battle group, and standing in today for heavy hazard suits, is some Resistance Bikers. We didn't get our order in yet. They're riding in a Raven A and their scout is 4 Wolverine A's.
Alrighty, so there you have it, 1,500 points of UCM. Next up we have the PHR here to teach these UCM people the error of their ways. We've got a command group of an Odin and a Zeus with a level 3 counselor in a Neptune. We have 2 identical standard groups. We have 2 Phobos walking on foot and 2 Ares in a Neptune. We've got 2 groups set up that way. We have 2 infantry groups. The first one is 2 groups of Immortals in Tritons and a AM team in a Triton. The second group is 2 groups of Immortals in Tritons, and they're joined by a squad of Apollo A's in a Neptune. And then for the final group, we have 4 Mercury drones in a pair of Tritons. They have stealth missile batteries and the Skyhammer missiles. So you've seen the armies and you've seen the table. We will be back once the encroachment begins. Alright, turn 1 is history. We've got the Ares on the ground here and here. Phobos did direct deploy. They have moved now, but they direct deployed behind buildings. Apollo's moved up to the center. Here we have 2 infantry groups and the drones still embarked. And on the flank we've got the mortar or the sniper teams and the other 2 immortal teams along with the commander. The UCM counter, the Gladius, I'll get them right in a minute. The Sabres stayed in their transports, moved full distance. We have a group of longbows here, a second group of longbows here. The hazard team deployed here early. Building took 10 damage points, but like the bosses they are, they did not care about that. Kodiak direct deployed there, and then the AA there and there in the street. Mortars are in these teams down here. Other than the damage to the building here and 1 point to that, nothing really happened. No casualties to either side. So that's the end of turn 1. We'll be back following turn 2. Turn 2 ends as the 2 forces begin to engage. The one team of Sabres did come over here and disembark. Their dropship was shot down by the Phobos after they had disembarked. And then the Ares moved to try to counter them, fired a stealth missile to the front one and then shots to the back too, but did nothing. Connected with all 3 shots, but no damage. The drones moved here, dropped out, and fired a Skyhammer and stealth missiles there were able to destroy 1 of the longbows. The Wolverines committed to destroy the second dropship here, and then the 4 of them were destroyed in turn by Ares, Phobos, and the Apollos on the flank. The Apollos did take a damage point from the mortars, who went to the wall to fire. Hazard suits decided their building was getting a little rickety. They disembarked and moved here. Let's see, what else? Infantry scooted here, and CQB heating up here. With UCM as the occupiers. The snipers moved to the flank here. Commander is still in his ride, moving to this flank. So that is the end of turn 2. Some damage sustained by both sides. UCM lost a Condor, 4 Wolverines, and a longbow. And the PHR lost 2 damage points out of 2 different Ares, 1 dropship, and 1 point out of an Apollo. So damage is starting to show. We will be back following turn 3. The UCM put their big boy pants on this turn. Turn 3 rolls to an end. We are down 3 Ares and a Phobos. Oh, they shot like champs this time. We killed in response 1 Saber. We did move the Apollos and the gun drones to the flank, fired through the gap and destroyed the rest of the howitzers back there in the back. So this flank is devoid of howitzers. CQB here, 4 stands versus 4 stands. We killed 3.5 stands. The UCM did fight back pretty well, killed an entire base and 3 men off of another, but the survivors decided it was enough, and they vacated the structure back into their transport. So casualties were light for the UCM other than infantry, but the PHR armor took a shellacking. The commander did deploy in an attempt to stop the bleeding. We'll see if he just gets blown away like everybody else. So we also have a clash of titans here in the building starting next turn as the mortarmen and the snipers engage in CQB. We will be back following turn 4. Turn 4 rolls to an end. The last Ares is laid low by the commander's orbital laser. We did destroy the last of these dropships. It was moving to take an opportunistic shot there, but this guy was in the gap. He reaction fired and destroyed it, and then used his movement to move back some. These infantry fell back because he won initiative again. Moved his rapiers to here and had shots at 1 with 1 rapier. 3 hits, no damage points, or 2 hits, no damage points. And they scooted for the backfield at 20 inches. So they're hiding back here. 1 smoke round to each saber group. These did not take any damage before they activated, but the smoke did come off. So they moved up to here. The 5 of them threading the street. They did damage the lead Phobos. Where this guy fell out, we did destroy him, that Falcon with, or not Falcon, Raven, yes? Yes. Destroyed it with small arms. The guys did fall out in the street. They're okay. CQB there, the mortarmen kicked my butt. We each lost 3 guys, which is a huge win for the mortarmen. But we are still embroiled there. The Apollos jumped along with their dropship. Commander finally engaged. We knocked 5 points out of this building, but did no damage to the hazard suits. They fired at the lead Phobos. That's actually what hurt the lead Phobos. The sabers did not do anything. Damaged both of these buildings up quite a bit, and these 3 teams, when they went to the wall, also fired their AM rifles and busted 1 guy out of 1 squad and 2 guys out of the other there to try to lessen their focus fire effect. So that is turn 4. Got a lot of end-around movement going on. The PHR have taken a lot more casualties points-wise, but we are also heavily invested in their deployment zone. So we will be back following turn 5. Turn 5 rolls to an end. Phobos here was destroyed along with damage to his partner. We did kill the Condor with them before that happened. Small arms from the infantry killed the other Raven here, along with killing the last of the infantry in the street. We did kill 1 more heavy suit. They transferred buildings to the center. My infantry from the flank swung here, along with their Apollo going to the back, firing rounds on this building to no effect. Apollo also caught a round from the orbital laser and was also doubled out and destroyed. Commander and his Odin fired on the bear and destroyed it and killed a couple of mortarmen with their machine guns. So that is turn 5. We will be right back with turn 6 and the conclusion to the game. Turn 6 rolls to an end. Very few casualties inflicted, mainly just a few infantry here and there. Did lose the last of the Phobos. Nothing else really died, just a couple of infantry here and there. CQB here continued to be a gong show. He killed 1 guy. I finished off the first base. Infantry jumped to this central building, and he scooted to this one with the last of his hazard suits. So mostly just maneuvering at this point. Most of the ground stuff is dead, especially for the PHR side, but because of all the immortals in his half, the PHR did win 1,692 to 834. Without the immortals, it was like a 100-point spread, so very close game. We will have after-action reviews and army lists at the blog as always. Like us on Facebook, and you can see all of our content as it comes out there at Enter the Maelstrom. And we appreciate the time you spent with us today, guys. Thanks for watching.